Good morning, another day. Let's get it on.
Neutrogena primer. Fill in those pores, baby. Redness remover. Redness eraser. I love this stuff. See that? Covers up pretty good.
I really feel for these women that I read on my community chats that are just now asking about what's wrong with them, or could it be PMDD and what should they be doing, or some women already know they have it, been diagnosed, and are just starting out on all the management tools and best practices. Let me just share my opinion on something though. When you see a lot of women saying that this has worked for them and that they're on this medication and this medication, or they do XYZ, that doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. We as humans are all built up extremely uniquely, very different. What works for one person is not going to work for the other. With this disorder, there is no cookie cutter cure. Everyone's got to figure out what's going to work for them. The basics are exercise, eating right, getting enough sleep, staying away from alcohol and substances, trying to stay away from triggers, meaning stress. If you're in a high stressful job or position, that is not going to make anything better. So identify it now and nice and early so that you can put together a management plan on the weeks before your period. So you have a plan. Maybe you call out, maybe you reschedule meetings, something of that nature. You'll read it in all the literature and books that people have read. The week before, track. But I'm very excited to see the research rolling, the community support, and the awareness, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I see very, very concerning posts from women that are at their limits with tolerating the disorder, losing relationships. I have another community that I'm part of that is just for the partners of the PMDD woman, where they can go rant, and there is a trend seeing the same cycle of behavior from their partner. And it's sad because I just reflect back to when I was that woman. I feel for the partner who is there ranting about the conflict in the relationship. One of the things they list on the symptoms is conflict with relationships, relationship conflict. That was a big stressor for me. So again, your hormones fluctuate, triggers the brain to act in very fired off ways, like when a car is firing off wrong and they need their spark plugs changed. Right now, there's no cure for this disorder, so there's no opening up the brain and making tweaks up there. What's happening is the women, their uniqueness, and everyone, how different they are, is trying to find their own cocktail, if you will, if I may. Certain medications are suggested to take with this disorder and trying to manage this disorder. It's nothing but trial and error. And let me tell you something, none of this is going to work if you're messing around with alcohol or substances. You're not giving yourself a chance. You need to be clean and free of any extracurricular, I'm going to say extra anything in the brain or in the body, in order for the body to absorb the addition to the family as far as a new medication. You got to see how it all mixes with your body, with your physiology, with what you're doing in life. If you're a high-stress job, if you have 5 kids, how's everything, the stimuli, going to stimulate the brain and then let the medication work? So there's just so many unknowns that it's pretty amazing to watch it all roll out. But one thing I'm frustrated about is I'm post-PMDD, which means I don't have a period anymore. Meaning it's been a year after I've stopped my period, a full year. and I still have symptoms. Basically, the percentage of women that have and have had premenstrual dysphoric disorder are born with a brain sensitivity to hormonal fluctuation. That is the definition all over the place: premenstrual dysphoric disorder, brain sensitivity to normal hormonal fluctuation. So as we're growing into our teenage years, not even to our teenage years, yeah, there's stuff going on. But the minute we hit that puberty, then things start rolling around. And the minute you get your period, it gets even more intense. Those poor teenagers, they have no idea. Mothers, please be aware. Be into your daughter's life. See what's going on. And then you roll into your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and it's all over the place, a roller coaster ride constantly. Do, 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 do. And then you go into perimenopause, which is woo, 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 woo. And then menopause. And then after menopause, which is, that's just the way I've kind of seen it in myself. Okay, and I've been dealing with this disorder since I was 14, so more than 3 decades. That's my observation, and I've just read that they're starting research. They're starting to review and research women who've had PMDD that are in menopause to see how their symptoms are, if they are still present. That's just starting now. So if I'm lucky, I'll get to see any result of those results, but I'll probably be dead. Just like it was too late with this disorder, 30 years too late for me to do anything, it'll probably be too late to understand why I still have the symptoms now way after menopause. So that's the way I chalk it up. It is basically a disorder from when you're born, brain sensitivity to hormonal fluctuation. You don't see it until puberty. It rolls high in your menses stages, depending upon what's going on in your life, how you live your life, the things that you experience in life, trauma, whatever it may be. And then you roll into perimenopause and then menopause. And everything is at a different level with regards to the symptoms. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. But I still do my research and make sure I know what I'm saying so I don't sound like a fool here, but that's just what I'm thinking.
We're gonna go in with a little brown today. Guess what? I have a brown shirt on. See it? I did a little video on these shirts. They're so cool. They kind of keep everything tucked in nicely. As far as back fat. No. As far as, just little fluffs. We'll call them fluffs. One of my favorites. As you can see, it's empty. And I'm just going to go with black eyeliner today. Usually I've been using the softer one. And I'm going to go in with just the black. A really, really light line at the ends. And then I just smudge them in, because if I do the whole line, it's too much. This Stay Put eyeliner is amazing. It's supposed to, stay put for 24 whatever hours. Not that I need 24 hours, but, when they say 24, it probably lasts just 12. Sometimes it comes out a little too much, so I have the Q-tips standing by. So I can just do a little clearing up here. Just a little one, so it doesn't mess up with anything else I had on there. We're going to do some setting spray before we do the mascara, okay? And then also some eyebrow enhancement. I love this MAC Big Boost. It is the color brunette. It usually does a pretty good job. And with the setting spray, it should stay pretty well. I've never been fond of using these things. Not only can I not see what I'm doing, these things hurt if you get them in the wrong spot. So I never grew very fond of using that. So what do you think? Not bad, right? I used to wear it darker, like a more mauve. I think it's too dark. One day I'll wear it. So, let's see how this... It's getting oily. You have a good day.